Guys, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're gonna start with this one first. The Holy Land said Hezbollah commander eliminated in airstrike. All right, so we're gonna get to this one. We have a few more here I want to share with you. Persia could again enrich uranium in matter of months. The IAEA chief warns. Russian military instruct China how to beat the US and NATO weapons. Alright, so we're gonna get to all this news here, guys. And again, we are definitely seeing nation against nation building up in the year 2025. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is June 29. It's 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time. I just got home from my, again, second job. It was a long day at work. I don't post videos this late on this channel, guys, but I just wanted to bring you one more video here. All right, so the Holy Land Air Force said the Air Force attacked and eliminated earlier today. Again, one of the individuals, very bad group here, very bad. The intelligence officer of the Radwan 4th Battalion in the Hezbollah organization in the Marwana area of southern Lebanon. All right, so they took out someone very important here. Mission complete. At the same time, Benjamin still facing court issue. So you guys know back in 2019, he's been dealing with the courts, bribery and stuff like that. Also, the ICC put out a warrant arrest on Benjamin due to war crimes. Not only Ben, but also Vladimir Putin. So some very tough time for Benjamin. All right, so we're gonna get to this news here, guys. So let's go with. Give me a second here. I truly apologize if I sound tired, guys. I'm very tired. Came home late. It was a busy Saturday. The Bear military instruct the Red Dragon how to beat the US and NATO weapons. One key trend to have emerged over the course of the Bear Ukraine war is that the Red Dragon, China, Iran, and Russia are increasingly and very openly cooperating military technologically, including Moscow sharing experience gained in the course of its Ukraine ground operation. Newsweek reports that the Bear plans to train hundreds of the Red Dragon military personnel this year on lessons learned front from its ongoing invasion of Ukraine based on regional sources. Some of what has been learned is how to defend against the sleeping giant made and NATO supply weaponry, something which Beijing is surely interested in amid the long-running Taiwan standoff with Washington. All right, so you guys know Russia has some experience when it comes to U.S. weapons and also Europeans. So they are helping China, and I don't think they're gonna invade Taiwan yet, but it's not gonna be an easy one. It's not gonna be easy. And China, Russia, they saw what U.S. did to Iran, so that's a big wake-up call. Instructor would cover methods for countering weapon system used by Ukraine forces that were produced by the U.S. and its NATO allies. A source in Ukraine top intelligence agency told the outlet. The Newsweek report continues. It says here specifically lesson for a Taiwan conflict will be gleaned. Now this training will further strengthen security ties between Russia and its no-limit ally, the Red Dragon, which in recent years has stepped up joint military exercises. Battlefield insights into U.S. weaponry could offer an advantage as the Red Dragon seeks to surpass the U.S. as the leading military power in the Indo-Pacific. And Ukraine Defense Intelligence Directorate has told local media, the Kiev Post, that the Kremlin has decided to allow the Red Dragon military personnel to study and adopt the combat experience the bear has gained in its war against Ukraine. Now it says here, not only have Russian forces destroyed and disabled possibly dozens of Western supply main battle tanks, including the M1 Abrams, the UK Challengers, and French Leopards 2s, but F-16s have also been taken down. You see the difference between Russia and Iran? Russia is a very powerful military, and for the past 3 years, the bear has taken out the M1 Abrams tanks, also the Leopards, and the UK Challengers. So the bear has taken out a lot of those tanks, including some F-16s. Iran, well, they haven't taken out nothing, to be honest. Alright, so the Sleeping Giant troop carriers have additionally been destroyed. And in some places, Western armored vehicles have been put on display in the capital of Moscow. Wow. You hear that? So American troop carriers have additionally been destroyed, and some places Western armored vehicles have been put on display in the capital of Moscow as trophies from the battlefield. So they got our tanks, the best tanks that we have. They have it out there in Moscow, put out there like a statue, like a trophy. We got the best tank in the world, and to prove to the world that we don't mess around. So it says here, meanwhile, the Red Dragon this week hosted defense ministers from Persia and the Bear for a meeting in its eastern seaside city of Qingdao. Now, the meeting happened Thursday, and importantly, Qingdao is home to a major Red Dragon naval base, with the country's defense minister Dong Yun calling the PLA Navy and its bases a counterweight to a world in chaos and instability. As momentous changes of the century accelerate, unilateralism and protectionism are on the rise, Doug said, alongside defense chiefs from Russia and Iran. The military leaders of Pakistan and Belarus were also present. He was further quoted in news agency as decrying hegemonic and domineering and bullying acts which severely determine the international order. The comments were clearly aimed at the Western allies and Washington in particular. So once again, the Bear, they do have experience when it comes to dealing with Western and giving a heads up to China. And again, that's a big thing for China, because especially with Taiwan, China needs to be prepared for possibly incoming biblical war with the U.S. The Red Dragon, over the course of this month's Holy Land and the Sleeping Giant bombing of Persia, has condemned what it sees as blatant aggression against a non-nuclear power which was engaged in good faith negotiations. The Red Dragon capital has also in the past issued statements calling out NATO for its constant expansions and activity, which has even been lately introduced in the Pacific region, and growing ties to Japan. All right. So that's going to be it for that one. Once again, Russian military instruct China how to beat the US and NATO weapons. And they have one of our best tanks out there in Moscow like a trophy. All right, we're going to jump with Iran. Once again, Iran could again enrich uranium in matter of months. All right. Again, please share the video, guys. Thank you so much for your support. UN nuclear watchdog Chief Raphael says Persia likely will be able to begin to produce enriched uranium in a matter of months, despite damage to severe nuclear facility from U.S. and the Holy Land strike, CBS News said Saturday. The Holy Land launched a bombing campaign on Persian nuclear and military sites on June 13, once again Friday the 13th, saying it was aimed at keeping Persia from developing nuclear weapons, an ambition that the Persians has consistently denied. Now it says here the U.S. subsequently bombed 3 key facilities used for Persia atomic program. Now, Persia Foreign Minister Abbas says the extent of the damage to the nuclear site is serious, but the details are unknown. The sleeping giant leader Donald insists Persia's nuclear program have been set back decades. You know what's decades? Man. At first they say years, but now it's decades. So decades, yeah, I mean that's 10 years, 20 years, but I don't think it's going to be decades. I think possibly years. It says here, but Abbas, the director, Abbas, I'm sorry guys, this is not Abbas, but Grosset, the director general of the International Atomic Energy Agency, said some is still standing. They can have, in a matter of months, not decades. I would say a few cascades of centrifuges spinning and producing enriched uranium or less than that, Grosset said Friday, according to a transcript of the interview released Saturday. Another key question is whether Persia was able to relocate some or all of its estimated 408.6 kilo, that's 900 pound, stockpile of highly enriched uranium before the strikes. The uranium is questioned and is enriched to 60%, above levels for civilian usage, but still below weapons grade. That material, if further refined, would theoretically be sufficient to produce more than 9 nuclear. 9. Grosset admitted to the news, "We don't know where this material could be." So Donald said it was destroyed. The AIEA are saying they don't know what the material is. So I do believe that the material has survived. The facility is destroyed, but I do believe the material has survived. So some could have been destroyed as part of the strike, but some could have been moved. So there has to be, at some point, a clarification, he said in the interview. If it was completely destroyed, Persia would have launched a whole bunch of missiles. But Persia didn't even try. Iran didn't even try. They just fired a couple and that's it. For now, Persia lawmakers voted to suspend cooperation with the IAEA, and Persia rejected Grosset's request for a visit to the damaged site, especially Fordo, the main uranium enrichment facility, the big mountain. So we need to be in a position to ascertain, to confirm what is there, and where is it, and what happened. In a separate interview with Fox News Sunday morning feature program, Donald said he did not think the stockpile had been moved. It's a very hard thing to do. Plus, we didn't give much notice. We didn't give much notice, but Donald, you basically sent a whole bunch of messages that you was gonna strike them. Again, months and months ago. I mean, 4 months ago. So 4 months is plenty of time for them to move those materials. All right. So again, Donald said it's a very hard thing to do. Plus, we didn't give much notice. You did give notice with those 4 months of message that you left on Twitter and True Social. All right, so it says here, U.S. Secretary of State Rubio on Saturday underscored Washington's support for the IAEA's critical verification and monitoring efforts in Persia, commending Grosse and his agency for their dedication and professionalism. The full Grosse interview will air on Face the Nation with... Okay, I'm going to skip that. All right, so this is where we are right now, guys. Kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation are building up. Once again, the Holy Land said they took out the commander from Hezbollah commander was eliminated. Once again, you have the Bear military instruct China how to beat U.S. and NATO weapons, and Iran could again enrich uranium in a matter of months. All right, give me a second here, guys. Give me 1 second. We got a breaking news here coming out. So we have, I want to bring this is going to be off topic, but this is the big, beautiful bill that they are discussing right now. It says here Donald was working the phones in the Oval Office while J.D. Vance was on the Senate floor, convincing holdouts to vote for the big, beautiful bill. This is the dream team in action. Vance was key and getting Senator Johnson, Lee Scott, and others on board. And they're still working on it. Right now it's 12:29 a.m. Eastern Time, June 29. So I want to bring this one up too, guys. We do have some more breaking news. This is coming out from Secretary of State Rubio. Slams Persia for threatening UN nuclear watchdog chief. We just talked about that. Secretary Rubio called Persia threat against the IAEA director unacceptable and a direct strike on global nuclear oversight. He warned the regime intimidation tactic risk undermining international efforts to monitor its nuclear program. Rubio urged the sleeping giant and allies to respond firmly and defend agencies' independence. Alright, so once again, this is where we are right now, guys. I'm going to keep you updated with all these news. And again, I truly apologize, but I'm just going to have to end it here. Like I said, I got home pretty late. It was a lot of work today, my second job. It was so much, but I just wanted to bring you guys this breaking news here. I had it saved a few hours ago, but I had to go in my second job. But again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like and share the video. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ. For he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.